Shiva, take me home. Now if I make believe that this house belongs to me, with walls made of stone and doors made of steel, then there is no doubt that it would crumble, get caught in a tornado that never seems to pass. But how could a storm destroy what's nothing? And what would it leave behind?
Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today. And the volume is okay here? You can hear? Everyone can hear? What about the people outside? I mean, I don't know. Is there some space maybe in the back of the room? No, when the door is open at the back? then if it's open, then some people can come through from there. We have some can go there if they want to stay in that place. Hmm? I say like this because we are quite used to Indian buses and Jamaican buses, and we could fit another half people. Of course, you it will feel, oh my God, no more, no more, and then it's so beautiful. At the end, you can't move your legs, but it's fantastic satsang, and yeah. Hmm? Yeah, very good. So welcome also to the many friends and sangha from different places in the world who are also joining us via internet today. Welcome to you, and very good. Yes, even somebody can sit here also if they want. Space is here. Come, come. Space, more space. Come, come. Okay. Yeah, very good, very good. It's good, it's good. Okay, thank you. All right, please come then for me. Yes, I think with people, there's a step there that I also almost, felt, and then maybe each person who comes, you just need to point that there's a step there. You cannot see it easily. Okay.
Thank you for
Speak in the microphone.
thank you for the invitation. I thought to get it early so I can get it over with, relax, and go back and enjoy satsang. The intention is to come fresh. But there is an experience I would like to share with you,
Okay.
if it's possible,
Okay.
and get your confirmation on it either way.
Okay.
Some time ago, I went to sleep and I woke up in the dream. I woke up in the dream. And in the sense that I was watching from somewhere. Almost like an observer and a mind. And right across from the mind is sort of a shadowy figure, almost like a human figure, but almost like shadow. So the thing started, the figure is sleeping, and then waking up, stepping down from the bed and everything. It's everything black. And I can see that the input is going to the mind. And
So what is going to the mind?
um,
Attention. What?
not attention. The mind is translating what's happening.
I see.
And it's going to the observer in a way. The information is going there.
And the observer is something you could observe also.
Yes, I can observe it from here.
Okay. Acha.
But it's almost down or
Yes,
far.
yes, yes, yes. Okay.
So, but at this time, there's no identity in the figure. There's only observation, I can say. So the next step is a statement. It comes almost to the forehead of the figure, of the shadow figure, about my daughter passed away. So at this instant, like almost the figure froze, waiting for instruction almost. Another related statement came, and then all of a sudden the mind occupied the body. And I can see a strong interest or attention from the observer. And then when that happened, there's no more space, so there is no more black space. And almost the figure, before it became me, it's almost like the movie is Superman, when Clark is powering up to become Superman. Is like this a shadowy figure. Something was going on inside, and all of a sudden it's animated. It's me.
Okay.
It's me then. And identity.
At the point that it is you, there was still the perceiving of this you
Yes, always from here.
from here. Who was up there?
Okay. Who, something that's not moving and not interested, just observing.
Okay.
Just observing. And there's a black space.
So you were being observed, or you were in that observing place?
No, I am here.
Okay. Okay.
I am here,
Yes.
but the show is going. And I can see when the identity took place.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yes, good.
And then I have access to the memory all of a sudden, past and future,
Yeah.
and the pain and agony and of the statement.
Yes.
All of a sudden, everything is populated, and the world as it is now.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to confirm how it seems to me that at this last stage where the world is populated and I am who I am now is the waking state. And I was wondering if the shadowy figure is what we call a dream state. And as well, when the shadowy figure was sleeping, this is where this whole dreaming is like we're dreaming, we're asleep, we're dreaming, and we're dreaming, we're awake. And my question is, where is deep sleep in this show?
You're dreaming that you are asleep. You're dreaming that you are dreaming also. You're dreaming that you are awake.
Yes.
Yeah, all these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
So
clear.
those states are also rotating
Yes.
states, no?
Yes.
So waking, then comes dreaming maybe,
Yes.
and then comes deep sleep also.
But where is deep sleep in this steps?
Because the others you are cognizing, the others you are seeing, they are sort of phenomenal states. Cognizing states mean that you are perceiving things and you can tell a story about them. You cannot tell a story about deep sleep.
So when deep sleep comes, this is not again, right? I am not.
Okay, do you enjoy deep sleep or not?
Of course.
Yeah, who is enjoying it then?
Yes. I don't think this one is enjoying.
Da.
I think whoever knows about the whole circle or is enjoying. Because in deep sleep, this is not.
How you know?
Because this only when mind,
So then I needed to hear you say that because it is you who will determine what this is. You see, I'm watching because you can determine different things about this. This could be absolute, but right now you made it somehow in relative. So now suddenly this becomes what I call the state of presence or the sense I am. Because if you say in deep sleep it's not there, it is true. The I am is not there.
but because I figured this only appears when the show is going on.
What watches its appearance then?
Yes, behind.
So there's something behind this even.
Yes, because the consciousness where everything is happening is in this black thing. But, but, but I know about this black thing. I know about the I am. Because I woke up, I know
So
myself watching.
yes. You know that you're watching.
Yes, yes.
You know you're watching now also.
Okay. So the knowing, who's speaking now? Is the knowing speaking or the I am speaking?
It is both the same actually.
It's both the same.
It's both the same. Somehow the knowingness, out of the knowingness or the I am feeling, the speaking is coming from there.
Yes.
Or you can say that it is speaking, or it is behind the speaking. It is aware of the speaking.
And in deep sleep, the I am is not.
Yes, the I am is not there.
Okay.
You know what I am is?
The observer,
Yes.
I would say.
Okay. Okay.
So, my question is, in the I am,
Which is here now.
which is here now,
Okay.
and going back to your statement that the thinker is a thought, that's clear to me how it happened.
So the thinker or identity, same
Is
thing
is
is
a
thought.
thought.
Okay.
That's fine. Now, where is God in this three steps almost? Is when I been told or I know that God, creation comes from God.
Yes.
So, is life force the same thing as creation?
Yes. It's the creative energy. It's the vital force. It's the animating power that makes all the movement in the universe, including your breathing, that gives the power for you to ask questions, that generates even energy to your mind, so the mind can actually, the lights of the mind can go on. It is the, yes.
Okay, but in the first step where the shadowy figure, there is still creative objects in the
Yeah.
scene, but there's no life force. Where is God there?
If there is creative power, it is the activity of the life force. You cannot see the life force, just like you cannot see the wind, but you can see the effect of the wind, and you can feel the wind, but you cannot see it. If there are no objects, you would not see the wind. You would know nothing about wind, except if you can feel it and you can see trees blowing. You can say, oh, the wind is blowing from this direction, but you cannot see it blowing. You can see the effect of it.
Okay, so God
Is
and
this of value to you now?
which one?
What you're asking? It's
Absolutely,
deep.
yes.
Okay, okay,
Of
carry
course.
on. Okay.
Uh, so, what is God to the observer?
What is God to the observer? If the observer itself is not the ultimate principle, the
Yes.
observer cannot fathom God. It can have concepts about God, but the observer is on the bridge between the phenomenal world and the infinite. It cannot comprehend the magnitude of God.
So, is God then the element in the real, in the unreal? Is
It,
this?
it depends, you see. You are asking about things as though they are like this and they're like that. They're not
Yes.
like this and they're like that.
Yes.
They only appear like this and like that according to how your mind function. They are not facts in themselves. You are creating many things that you are perceiving and believing to be facts or fiction, but
Yes.
they are always changing.
Yes.
So you cannot ask for an absolute question and get an absolute answer
Yes.
from a relative place.
Yes.
Everything is relative to that.
Yes.
If you want to know what God is, I give you an answer. It does no good to you. Hmm? Because if I told you when we spoke, you were listening before, you are looking for God all your life. You're looking, but you don't find God because you imagine God to be other.
Yes. Yes.
God
Yes.
is not other. That is the cause that allows even the sense I am to arise itself.
Oh.
That gives even the impetus and the impulse to search for God. That is the grace that comes from God also.
So
You want to know God, you must first know you.
yes.
Yeah, you must find out first who you. Because otherwise you have an idea about knowing God, but you don't know.
Yes. Yes.
So how reliable will be your knowledge? And to know you cannot merely be just informational. It cannot just be
No.
you tell me something. It's not your autobiography. It's not you. So what is you? That's the only credible thing. If you speak about God, for you it is other. So it is only opinion, you see? And opinions are not of any value here.
No.
Okay. So you have to come to something which is beyond opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You have to come into the living life itself.
Mm-hmm.
So then you are what then? And also, I don't want you to give me an answer about what you are. You must show what you are. Don't say what you are, show what you are. Because all the things you talk about, they're only concepts actually. Hmm? What knows concepts to be concepts? Can that one be found? Or can it only be imagined? Can it be found? Be careful that you don't go off into the mind stream, which gives us the sense of knowing something, but it has no power. It has no power in itself. Then what is it that's worth knowing then? Just be clear about who you are, what you are. Not conceptually, not theoretically, not psychologically, not emotionally. You have to know and to be must be same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the ultimate place, there are no concepts there to keep or to believe. The ultimate cannot be a believing place because beliefs change. Belief is also phenomenal and it will change. Even your religion can change.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you can perceive phenomenally is subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot present any of these things as though they're absolutes.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And you cannot present the absolute
No.
unless you are the absolute. How can the relative
Yeah.
introduce the absolute? If you have a real thirst, there must be something that can quench your thirst. There must be something that can satisfy your thirst, remove your thirst. What is your thirst for?
For the truth.
For the truth. And what can truth be then? What concept we have about truth? Because truth can be presented in so many ways. Sometimes people say truth is God, but they don't know what God is. So how you know what truth is?
Mm.
What is the way and the means to recognize that truth is truth? From where does the concept of truth come? What can truth be? When you say truth. Because sometimes what is spoken to be truth by one is feels somebody else disagree even.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to find what is true, you have to find what does not change, isn't it? And do you know anything that doesn't change?
Yes, this presence.
Yes, but the presence is not there in deep sleep.
No.
So it is not there all the time.
No, it's not.
Something is there that witnesses the absence of the presence,
Yes.
isn't it? Otherwise, how would you know to answer that question? What is that which is also knowing the absence of presence, but doesn't mind? Not important, because nothing challenges it, nothing alters it. And who can know it? Only it can know itself. The mind can only assume, give opinions or something. It cannot directly know something. To know something is a duality anyway. The only thing which is not implying a duality is self-knowledge, unless it is expressed in a classical way of knowing something, one thing knowing another thing. But self-knowledge is not this. Where to know and to be are the same thing. The only thing to do is to get rid of you. Yeah. It's a strange thing. Very few people can hear such a thing like that. They say, but I don't want to get rid of me. I want to be the one who find the thing. But only the thing is. Whereas you are really not. When you discover you are not, strangely you find you are that thing. But it doesn't know itself as a thing. This is the paradox, you see, that brings fear, terror, doubts, resistance in the mind of the identity. Something must be made you fit enough to bear this kind of question, you see. That you don't run away, don't dismiss, you don't curse. You're maybe intrigued, but as yet not resolved in your understanding about it. Ultimately, you have to be totally empty. Not a person being empty. Empty of person, to be empty of person is to be empty. When person is not, there alone God shines. God is shining even when the person apparently is there. The person is not a big deal. It's a highly overrated idea. Only the supreme truth exists. But at present, we feel puzzled by that because we don't feel that we are the supreme truth. And if we do feel we are the supreme truth, it normally comes out of some arrogance. What to do with this? Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you sit and then we see if something comes, and maybe you have started something. Let's see how if it flourishes or as a new thing is arising or something like that. Thank you very much. You come for a minute or no? Thank you.
Hello, Mooji.
The idea when you say of getting rid of you, that's not something I want to run away from. That's something I want to run towards and disappear in.
Yes.
And I feel like the time when I was away from Sahaja and I was doing things at home, I picked up some of this identification and I can feel it so strongly.
Yes.
Now I'm back and I just
Yeah.
want
When
to
you're
clear
in
it
that
out.
state where you cannot bear identification, you see, then you're in very auspicious state actually, because it means it doesn't. Your ego is on a countdown. If you can't bear identity, then it's going to culminate into some kind of something is going to come, some emergency, something is going to have to happen. The fact is that we are bearing identity all our life. We identify, even we protect identity even. Because who are we to protect identity? It's not the same thing. You and identity is not the same thing. Identity normally means the belief that I am my body, and my upbringing or conditioning and the kind of programming, consciously and subconsciously that we absorb from environment and family and culture and religion and so on, all together gives a sense of a person or an entity that is always changing. Actually, it's always refining itself and so on. And for a while, the consciousness loves this. This I call it a relationship, but it doesn't call it a relationship. It actually believes it is it. It believes and functions as though it and the mind and conditioning are the same thing. For a while, it will be like this. And we identify very strongly with our body and conditioning, and think this is who we are. So this is the global state. But at some point, impelled by some force, some people, the bubble of identity is bursting now and again in some place, popping, because it becomes unbearable. Because the consciousness, actually, which is free and unbound, starts to recognize that it feels trapped by personhood. And then once it realizes this, it's just has to be wriggling to come out of this limitation. In other states, this wriggling begins in a movement that you call evolution or progress, practice, spiritual practice, and philosophical debates to try and move to higher levels, to higher ground in consciousness, where the oxygen is better. You see? Otherwise, at some level, it's stagnating, and you're compelled, and nobody as a person does it by themselves. It's somehow a ripeness is happening inside, and there's a yearning to go more. And life is taking care of it. And you come to a point where, somehow I've got to go to higher states, to higher state. Where are you going? Somewhere out there? No, inside your own self. Something is lifting at higher states, being able to commune and to communicate at higher levels of consciousness, like that. And then at a certain point, it starts to move at such a speed that it's cutting away big forests of delusion, cutting. At a certain point, it can't stop, it cannot turn back. One-way ticket. It cannot go back. And everything is collapsing.
Because I don't even have any belief in all these thoughts. Like I've got bags of them that I'm still aware of, like concepts, thoughts coming up. And I don't have any real belief in them as a reality. But my experience is still this restless mind and this sort of busy.
They generate out of identity.
Yeah.
Identity is the factory for such thoughts, concepts, beliefs. If you have not solved the identity, you see, you may say, listen, I just want to come out of this, I just want to be free. But even you who are saying, I want to be free, is still part of the problem. He said, oh, hang on a second, Mooji, you don't leave me anywhere to go. Where can I go? Because it has to. If I am don't want to be free, then how can freedom happen? You see, then who is this I? It is a form of consciousness, but it's also combined with identity, and very largely believing itself to be the identity. You see. So when it is more in identity, it is clinging to objects and to form, and it holds on and protects, its delusions. Sometimes it moves more into a state of grace when it feels much more open, much more, sort of like almost out of body. And in those states, it finds it very easy to dismiss identity. It's no trouble at all. In fact, it doesn't even have to dismiss identity. It's away from identity. And it realizes even that identity is not even something to fight. There's nothing there to fight. Just in the state of awakening, there are no enemies even. In
That's
this,
been my experience. But right now, that's not my experience, and that's changing in itself also. And this whole thing, I just want to step past now, and even the person who wants to step past that, that can go. I just can
then
we?
you must have a clear sense when you say I, because it fluctuates. Sometimes you use I, and it's based upon the body as a person. You say I, I went this place and I felt so tired. I'm meeting all these people. That's I. That I is normally I am the body. I am this woman. I am from this particular upbringing. It's still in referring to body mind. Then there's I, which is more functioning from the state of presence. It is just witnessing. It's not so involved. It just observes. You see, it just observes somehow. It observes the sense of identity playing. I gave an example recently that of an image that I first saw in India. There was two birds in the tree. Two birds are in this one tree. One of them is on one branch and is making a nest. Is making nest, putting nest and so on, busy building. And on a branch just above that branch is another bird that's just looking. Again, one bird is on one branch, building nest, building, jumping, and above there's another bird looking, not building anything, just looking. And what I saw in this image was that the active bird is like our person self, is doing many things and want to do this and have a future and building something and so on, sense of personal. And the one looking is an aspect of the same bird in a higher state that just observes it. And each of us can actually recognize these positions within yourself. That sometimes you're just able just to observe. You're not doing anything at all. And when you're just looking but not judging, not identifying, you're in a much higher state, and things don't trouble you so easy. They trouble you when you identify and you're thinking me and you and this and that and so on. Then this is much more volatile, much hotter, much more passionate state, much more fluctuating state. But the weakness is a little bit above this state, like that second bird, like this. And then comes also another stage where both these birds are seen. Please try and follow me now. This other state where both birds are seen is still seen from where you are. But that one is not a bird. You've not moved. You've not gone to another tree or to another country or something. Simply, it's indicated that there's another space in which both these birds. Now, sometimes we hear somebody say, but I like the observing bird. I would like to just stay here a little bit longer. I've been so much the busy bird for so long, and now you've just pointed out that I can be the observing bird, and I like being the observing bird. Like, I can see all that's going on in my life and everything, and still nothing really touch me, except sometimes. Sometimes, if I'm looking too much, I find that I start to go back into role again. And when I go into role, then again I come into some kind of agitated state, and then somehow something happens. I don't know what happened, but I find myself observing again. When I find myself observing again, everything feels good. So, it's wonderful. Oh no, Shiva, that's very good. Huh? But when somehow I find myself again into the state of identity and so on, then I'm seeing it feels miserable. Now, there was a time when you were only mostly used to identity and you did not even know actually how miserable you are. You may even imagine I'm quite happy actually. Huh? So only as you begin to discover your ability to look without identity, you realize, wow, I don't want to just go back into that state. You see? So now you begin to become aware of the position of simply observing. This is one of the most powerful pointers in what you may call in spiritual life to begin to observe without identifying. And then you feel that somehow your field of viewing becomes open and panoramic, not so narrow, not so tight, but there's more confidence. You feel more upright in some kind of way. Then a little bit as you continue, you find that even these descriptions of being upright and so on, they start to become almost like they're vanishing. From being a form, they're slipping into a kind of formlessness. They say, don't panic. Sometimes people, I can't. Whoa, what's happened? I can't find my feet, or something like this, or I feel like I'm vanishing. So you are very much encouraged to be, if you're in a sangha, where other beings like yourself are called by the same voice and in the same energetic field of sensitivity spiritually, they can encourage you and say, "No, why are you panicking? It's okay. You're still here, no?" And, "Oh yeah, oh yes, yes, yes." I'm watching something disappearing, but the one who is watching is not disappearing. Then, oh wow, and so you're going through all these fluctuating states. You see? Then what would be ultimate? What is ultimate state? The ultimate would be somehow that is understood that the waking state, the phenomenal waking state, where the consciousness functions in the body and feels itself very localized in the body, that I am this, but at the same time still feels a kind of universality in the same one body, then it understands that the same universality that is being experienced here is the same universality that's behaving in each body. You see? Then somehow there's a sense of being in one field, of one beingness begins to come to light like that. Then when I ask you what is aware of both, even the weakness is also witnessed. By what is it witnessed? And I said, don't use your imagination. Because when you run out of room, you start to create and start to imagine, oh yeah, there must be some. No, no, no. Just look. It's enough. In true, authentic self-discovering, imagination is not needed. Creative visualization not needed. It becomes another phenomenon. Just the cool light of looking is enough, like this. So we can start at this point now, you see, because you're speaking and you're saying, yes, I am not identified with these states, but the mind still seems to go there. So some identity is still there. It's okay, Now, it would be wrong to say to you, get rid of this identity. And I will not say this. I rather say, keep looking that even identity is itself observed. And if identity is also observed, what is observing all of this? Don't imagine. And something begins to look and see, yes, when I'm identified, somehow I am aware of it naturally. But who am I in that state who is aware of the process of identifying? And you see? And the tendency is for the mind to then imagine something. I said, don't imagine, just look. And what do you discover then?
When you said something that's even aware of the absence of presence,
Yes.
that struck a chord because I was getting involved in the fact that the lack of presence, but as soon as you said that, it's like, of course, I'm aware of that also. So I don't need to worry because what
Just
can
I ask you, who are you now? Is my question. Because if you say, well, if I can witness even absence and presence, I don't need to worry. But you is who is speaking, I don't need to worry.
yeah.
What is your status? Who are you who is speaking here?
I can't report on who. I can't find.
Then but why you bring in worry? If you look to yourself, is there even the notion about worry? Because you mentioned worry, you see. I don't need to worry. This is who's the I who will be worried or not worried. And then you see what you're doing here when you do this. Please listen to this now. Is that when you look like this, it's like a very powerful fire is burning something. Even in your silence, something is like it's in the fire of your seeing. You could be sitting here looking as peaceful as an angel, but forest fires are really roaring around you of just distortions and misconceptions are just being thrown in the fire. See, feel what is here as me, what is left in here as me, which is not an assumption, not is not belief, it's not imagination. Actually, what is here then? Everyone here should be in a position to begin to sense what I'm hinting. What is here then? A mother, a father, a Christian, Muslim, man, woman. What actually is here? Is it an object? Does it have a form or a size or weight or shape? You should be able to see directly. This is direct knowledge, you see. I'm not giving you homework right now because it is here, it is always here. But this is it an object, I'm asking. Why am I asking? Because we are inclined to identify as object. Even when you say I'm subject, it's still subject object. We are afraid to be purely subject because we don't know what purely subject is. You have an idea of what purely object is. It's like a form, it's something that we're used to. I'm used to being this. Look at my fingernails. Oh, look, look. We're used to that. So the sense that there's somehow you can go beyond that layer of perception sometimes brings a bit of fear. Like, I may just vanish into some infinite thing and I don't, or to be sucked into some black hole and not able to come back or something. These are the fears that will come in the mind. And I want to see if there is enough, whatever it is that it takes to still be sitting here and not shutting off. Don't switch off your attention and start to think about muesli and pizza or something. And I wonder if there's animals outside or so. Because what the mind is, I can't cope with this. It's just, I wonder what there's going to be in the break. Is there chai or something? And you see, or whether something is powerfully fascinated by this topic, where you realize that perhaps all of my life is being condensed in this moment right here. Maybe a huge mystery, is about to be somehow recognized, clarified, or actually I can just carry on how I've always been carrying on. It doesn't really hurt that bad, really. What is it? What brought you to a place like this? And for many people, it has to be gradual seeing. A consciousness determines the rate of assimilation, the rate and the power and the potency of seeing. Because if your identity is very strong, maybe it cannot cope with a blast of real seeing, so to speak. Of course, you don't have to cope with anything in your real being. You are always that. But our dynamic identity, which we love and protect and bring to life, maybe is not ready for the impact of seeing. And yet I am trusting that it must be because you're here and I don't have anything else to talk about than this. Nothing fascinates me enough to talk about, like, can we change the subject and talk about farming or something? It's not going to happen. I am only talking about this.
I feel that everything in my life has brought me to this point. Everything.
Yes. This is already auspiciousness, you see.
I don't just feel it has, I know it has.
Yes, yes. Now you've come to this point. Is there a point after this point? Have you come to the end of the road? Are you willing to come to end of road? Or is that just a bit too fast? What it would mean? Anything that you learn and you have here, that you feel you know, it's not true. It's just ideas. There is something that knows knowledge and knows ignorance also. But it doesn't matter to it. In fact, it gives no particular concern about knowledge or ignorance. These are concepts also in it. It itself is not a concept and it's not worried about any concept. It is the womb that gave birth to all concepts for its pleasure. It manifests as all these beings and somehow embody them, who are nothing else other than its own self, enjoying in each form according to the capacity of the form. But in the human form, I feel it is one of the greatest, because in the human form, it can contemplate itself. I don't know if these things speak to you. Speak to some of you, of course. So, okay, we are here now, this point. We've reached this point. What now? You cannot come to any philosophical or intellectual or theoretical conclusion and be satisfied, actually. Once this burning is in you, it will not be put out by any of this type of thing. It's almost as though you can't bear yourself any longer. It sounds good or not? It's, oh my God. Okay, we'll leave it like this for a moment. Yes, very good. Very good. Come on. I come to you. Thank you.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I just felt a great desire to come up here. Over the past few days, I've been wanting to talk to you, but the fire is really big today, and I just wanted to share with you my current seeing and maybe confirm also. And I am fully here. I feel that, but not as a person, just as presence. And what I also recognized was that it's not like there's time and then at the end of that and end of the person there's the self somehow, but it's just that I am here and the rest is just purely imagined,
Yeah.
time and all of that. And this came very clearly to me. Yet I feel that something is still, like what the example you always give of the fan that stops spinning after the electric juice has been cut, and it's still going on for a while. And I just feel that something is still going into sleeping or into identity. And I just wanted to share this with you, see what happens really. Yes.
Yeah, it is good because you use a good example that if the fan is going and you switch it off, you don't turn it down, you switch it off, it still will keep going. But you know that it is slowing down. You don't have to sit and wait for it to stop. Something inside, no, the juice is cut. No? So what is the juice that's cut in terms of you and your life and your identity? How does it match up this example? It means that something realizes that I'm not just this person. I mean, what is the person, you see? And nowhere, all over the world, universities, temples, synagogues, everything, who is asking who this person is? It seems like there are millions, billions of persons, but nobody, who is this person? Who are they? Who is the person? It even seems absurd thing to ask. It seems even rude or even strange. Why are you asking this? What a silly question to ask. We are here, no? Yeah, but as what are you here? Oh, I don't know if I like this person. I feel uncomfortable. Like, why are you asking me who I am? I am me, yes, but what is that exactly? I mean, what exactly are you? Do I have to know exactly? If what you say you want to know is the truth, then you have to find out who you are. If you are different from truth, like that. And you say, now something got switched. Like, I know this person is just the belief and the thoughts that come up here, inside here, and are believed, and they seem to keep going in belief, and that seems to continue the sense of me being a certain way. But that is seen now. And if it is seen, I cannot anymore just be that. Because I see what come and I see it go. I cannot be that. Because when it go, if I was that, I would also be gone. And I'm still here to watch it go. So I cannot be this thing. This is common sense. You see? So what is it that watches what you call mind as thought and feeling and belief? And you may say phenomena. Have you ever perceived anything that has come and always stayed? Isn't everything sort of coming and going in and out of focus or in and out of the space of perception? Isn't it watched? Who is the watcher of it? The watcher seems to be able to watch everything, even space. It can watch. But can it also be watched? Well, if it is an object, it can be watched. Is it an object that can be watched? That which watches all things, observe all things, can it itself be observed? These are questions that are today's questions. They are right now questions. They're not for later. It's not some kind of thesis or something. It's right now question. What is your experience as you look? Somehow, my life has only been my life according to me. And even on different days, I tell a different story about it. The same story sound different. So which is the accurate version? Well, no version can be accurate. So what is there here that is true and consistent? Even the body is changing. Thoughts are changing, feelings are changing, memory is changing. Yeah, memory is changing also. Is there anything that's not changing? Meaning, that if everything is changing, can we rely on it? Today you say, I love you with all my heart and I will always be with you. And then next week, oh my God, you're going. What is consistent about anything? Yeah, we like the idea of saying these things and feel that somehow by will and determination we can make our feelings and our promises and our vows to make them into truths, and we cannot do it. Because when it's time for something to change, if it's some force takes it over, and if you try to resist change, you end up just with being some kind of dumpling or something. You are not going to be a happy chappy. You're not going to be that. Something is going to feel very strange about you, that you're suppressing, you're holding life back or something, which you cannot do. In fact, you can only create some kind of little monster out of it. Is there anything that is not changing? Well, if all that is changeful is observed, it must be observed from some place that is less changeful than the thing itself. But it cannot be an object, because all objects are subject to change beyond their own will, which they don't have. Object cannot have a will. An object cannot, this body has no will. It cannot say, look, I'm tired of being Mooji, I want to be John. It cannot, it does not have this power. It never had the idea of being Mooji in the first place. The objective expression of ourselves is not the sentient core. You understand the word sentient? Meaning that it's not the place from where the life and the consciousness arises from. It arises in, but not from. Now we can say we are inside the body, it's very naturally, but at a certain point you start to recognize, but that also my body is inside me also. Then say, wait a minute, that sounds funny. I fit in the body. I'm only as far as my fingertips and as tall as top of my head. That's the dimensions of me in this body. But when you say, but your body is inside you, meaning what? You are the one who perceiving not just this body, but all the other bodies, but only from the perspective of consciousness. But we're not used to that. Because although a person is also consciousness, it is a very, very selfish and restricted form of consciousness that functions more in sort of material knowledge, material mode. And you're not merely material. The material belongs to time, but there's something in here that does not belong to time. Time is going to take all of this, all that you see here. Time will change, it will swallow. One day it will be no more. But there's something time cannot swallow. I want to feel that this is what you came here to find. Nothing else is worth discovering and keeping. Many things are worth discovering and leaving, but some things that you discover will set you free.
And what's been coming up for me also is a feeling of trust in something new, trust in grace also.
Yes.
And because the reflex is to go to the person and what you know, even though this is seen from where I am.
That's just a habit of life, habit of living.
Yes.
But it cannot be enough to imprison you. You have flown the cage, you have broken out of the cage. Once you've understood, I'm not merely this body. When you realize I'm more than this body, you're out of the cage of I am the body, I am the body cage, you're out of it. And it would be very difficult to fit you back in there. because you don't naturally belong in any cage. You're back again in your original being. What do you have to do? Actually, as you discover that I'm simply just here, I don't know what it is that's here, but the breath, it's watched, it's felt, but it's not me. I am the perceiver of it. Thoughts are coming. Thoughts, I need to do this. But this I who need to do it is also seen. But it's just a thought. If I don't touch this thought, it goes away. And whatever it was suggesting also goes away, has no power. Who is the thought speaking to? Little questions like this. They seem right here, right here, right here. Don't worry about tomorrow, the next 5 minutes, the next hour, the last hour. Just be here. And you are developing a beautiful sensitivity inside your being. Don't know anything at all. It's okay. The world will tell you, learn as much. No, 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 no. I tell you, no, 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 no. No, no. You stay like this. And then somehow something will blossom from inside you. There must be the flowering of consciousness. Otherwise, we are living only as a caterpillar, not, not, not blossoming into a butterfly. Something has to blossom, has to bloom in your life, isn't it? Otherwise, you're just mechanical. Mechanical. Go to work, get a job, marry someone who can cook, and whatever other thing that we venerate to be the height of human attainment or something. Your life is much more than that. Your life is much more than that. Your being is the eternal being. But you must find out while this body is still warm. Find what is imperishable in you. It's very possible because it's not somewhere else. Wherever you feel the sense I, the God is there, the truth is there. Follow this vibration of I. Don't associate I with anything else, and it will reveal its mystery to you. Let the feeling I am, that vibration of being, just be one with it. You know the feeling to be I am. When you feel I, don't associate it with anything, with a man or a woman or past or future or desire. And you will see that it will reveal something inside that nothing in the world can give you. It's a paradox. Like, the more you lose what is untrue, the more you find what is true. You don't create the true. You can only create the untrue. The true you can only recognize. You can only discover. This is the great news, in fact. Because if you have to create what is true, not everybody has creative ability. But because everyone is the true, this much you can attain, a discovery of what is. And as soon as somehow that lion of real seeing roars inside you,
And it also feels like the power is not always equal. Like this came into my head because you mentioned the lion, and back in Zimor this week, I felt this lion so often, and such a supreme power also to discern between the thoughts. And whenever I looked at them, they just went away. But it's not always as constant as that. And
yes.
something also wants to equate.
The only thing that's constant, you must go also beyond lion also. Go beyond everything. Only the one who goes beyond everything reaches the supreme. that one doesn't have to do anything at all. Does not have to do anything at all. Never has done anything at all. And yet none of this could be without it. The mind is the realm of doing, of imagination, of striving, desire, attachment, all of this. Identity, belief, fear. Beyond the mind is the unspeakable. Not beyond in terms of any physical distance, but beyond in terms of subtlety. And this beyond is not a beyond there. It's beyond here, in here. It's you beyond you. You without you, you beyond you. There's nowhere else for you to find it except right here. What are you going to do? You can only say yes. Please. I offer my life up somehow to this. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But I intuit what it is. I sense what it is. I sense it's something beyond anything I can find in the supermarket or the mall or my best friend or, my greatest lover or whatever fantasy I have. It's beyond all of these things. It is not a gift that I receive. It is only what I cannot not be. But not all are ready for that. Without blame, all are consciousness. Whatever stage one finds oneself, whatever your present capacity, it is not a fault. It is the play of consciousness. That's why everybody is happy, even if when they're miserable, they're happy. Because you are consciousness. You can't help it. Consciousness that is.
And one other thing I discovered is that there's really no such thing as a mind looking at you.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that before, but it was more intellectual than now, and I feel it in my heart. Like, is it true that it's just my own power or energy actually flowing out towards also sometimes in habit or reflex, just towards the projections that are happening here, and that I'm the one looking at it, and there's really no such thing as mind, substance looking at what I am.
Mind is a relationship. It cannot exist by itself. You only need to discern. You can be without the psychological mind, but it cannot be without you. You judge which is the greater and be one with that. That's all. Don't say, I did this and this I also, you better leave him also. Be nothing. And immediately, actually, you are in the greater sense, in the greater space. You're in the great space. Immediately. Only if you're holding on to identity will you feel fear. If you relax and be open and say, actually, and trust, in fact, also. Trust has its place. Trust means some power brought me here. Now I'm here. I must decide somehow I can to be neutral or to feel yes, something is encouraging a yes in me, or not quite yet, or maybe, or no, this is not really for me right now. I just have too many things I want to fulfill, and I got too many pots cooking to really take this on right now, all which is completely fine in their own way. You see. I can only tell you, I have not as yet encountered anyone, I've met few, who have come completely awake and who has regretted it. It has not been heard of. Like, I can't bear this freedom, my God, it's too much, or something, or, I'm just far too happy, or whatever it is. It's not been heard of. I have not done it. I wish I could just go back to my comfort, the comfort of identity. I have not heard anything say this.
No, identity is unbearable now.
Unbearable is sort of like, in this field, it is a progression into the true. That just in the same way that at a certain point you cannot tolerate a lie. When I mean like that, let's call not so much like lie and truth, let's say disharmony. It's a more gentle way of putting it. Something is disharmonious. You don't feel to be with it. Even in yourself, when you're feeling a bit, you don't want to be in that state. The beautiful life is a kind of harmony, isn't it? It's not merely just moralistic or something. It's just like a harmony. Something feels just right. You don't have much to necessarily say about it. You shine in it. It's not something you possess. It's what you are. You may not even care to say that. You may not care to say anything at all about it. And that's perfectly fine too.
And also right now there's a huge rejection of these things going on, like the old identity and all of this. But I realized that once that phase is over, that it can just come back and it's harmless also. Like the identity can play out. Even now it's fine, but sometimes there are just moments where I have to reject it. It's nothing.
While it is the time to reject. Reject something if it feels not right. Be very clear. For now, no, I'm not ready for you. Whatever you throw in the bin, leave in the bin. Don't go back looking and see if, just leave it for now. And stay in this freshness of yourself and trust. Trust that a higher power guards your existence and wishes you well, so to speak.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So good, so good. Compa-
Something really weird's happened to me. The last few days I haven't been able to sleep at all. And I've just got this great sense of peace. And like, I just feel like nothing's ever happened. It's happened, lots of things have happened. But nothing's happened to me, like myself is just and
I thought you were complaining. Are you complaining about this?
I'm kind of shocked because
You're shocked.
I'm thinking I feel like I'm kind of have to act a conversation. Someone says something, I think, oh no, what shall I reply
Really?
to that?
This is very good.
And really, I just, last night I wanted to take a blanket and sleep up in the mountain in the temple. And I thought, well, I better not, and I feel like huh?
You want to
Slow.
slowly.
Okay, I'll try. I'm quite nervous. Yeah, I don't know. Just something's happened to me.
Yeah.
And I'm
Maybe
thinking,
something has not happened to you for the first time.
I'm just
Because,
not interested in the story.
yeah,
What
this is
story?
very good.
I had a story?
Yes, before, yes, yes, yes.
You sure?
No, I prefer this version. Now I don't have, nothing has happened. Very few beings can say that. Like all of that, it's nothing. Actually, another way. Sometimes people say that. They don't. So what was it all about? It's nothing. Man, nothing. Huh? It's nothing. Meaning, it's not nothing to report. There's nothing at all. I don't take anything from that. It's nothing for me. You know. Yeah, that's you. We've been there all this time. What happened to you? Nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to me.
I just feel like I know these are kind of catchphrases like empty. I just feel like the wind's blowing through me,
Yes.
and I'm having to pretend to be a person to people.
Yes. You heard this one? You understand? She says, I feel like it's empty, like the wind is blowing right through me. So it's almost like, isn't it? Very nice.
And so I don't know how to be now.
Yes, yes.
Now what
You
happens?
see, now, you see, we learned that we had to be a certain way. We learned how to be. That's the worst thing. Why you have to learn how to be. Don't let anybody tell you how to be. It's the worst thing, how to be. You don't know how to be. This is how, you, as a child, how to be. They're just, they don't, that's why they're so happy. They don't have to deal with you. Well, sometimes they do, because that's how we spoil each other. You can't be like that. You cannot do that. And of course, that has its place also. In your conditioning also is not just bad. Some good conditioning has been good. Consciousness needed some conditioning. But now you're speaking something just really so far above all of those things. You are saying that I don't know how to be with people and so on. And sometimes I would talk about that. The people would come and they'll ask you, so what do you think about so and so and so? And you have to kind of pretend like you're thinking, So, because you can't think. So, oh, let me see. Yeah, well, but you're just faking it because you can't think. Now, the people who are Olympic thinkers, they can't imagine how you can't think because you're such a thing. But some people, they can't think. They just, you know? And then others kind of pretend to, let me think about it. It is. But to not be able to think is not so uncommon, actually. There are many people who normally are not thinking their lives. They are just their life. But then society tells them you have to think. And so they develop a habit to pretend that they're thinking about their life.
So I'm going to be a bit strange. So keep away from me.
No, you cannot say that to a Sangha. You cannot say that in the Sangha. The Sangha are completely acclimatized to what the rest of the world sees as cuckoo, basically. You understand? And the rest of the world thinking, oh my God, nothing is going on for you. You are nothing. And the only person who is going to say this is someone from Sangha. Say, oh darling, I envy you.
Yeah, I used to feel this when I was a small child. And then they started giving me barbiturates because I couldn't sleep because I was in this kind of sort of sense of nothing for a lot of years.
Well, I have to say that I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. Maybe it'll be gone tomorrow, and then I'll have to leave. How can I show my face? Oh, I'm not nothing today. Now I'm full of everything.
What happens when you have nothing to share verbally? Can you
just
trust
feel-
in your own silence also?
Yeah.
Something shows you that personality cannot be your true state. Why? Because most people, they start to feel uncomfortable in the presence of other people. Why? Because it's a kind of psychological state to be a person. You're always thinking about how you come across, if people find you interesting, if you're funny enough, if your story is amusing enough or something. So actually, it is a very uncomfortable state. Whereas your true state, you never feel like that. You're not thinking about these things. This is proof enough that the personality person is not the true state. It is a very unsettled state of being.
And I saw an article that was, I don't know where I saw it, and it said, don't come to this space as Mr. or Mrs. Spiritual or Mr. or Mrs. Yogi.
Oh, this is a
or
saying of
Mr.
the day at Monte
Yeah, I
Sahaja.
saw it. I don't know. Yeah, and who's gonna take that risk? And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna take that risk. Definitely. I just feel like camphor at the moment. Throw me in the fire. There's not going to be any mark left.
Oh, I'm very happy.
But I don't know. That's it, really.
I just call
feel,
you Miss Nobody G, basically.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of nobody, but you know, it's just nobody.
A lot of nobody. You better go and sit down and. Huh? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You've compressed. Come here.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
I can't believe that I'm sitting here. And I just felt that I needed to just sit here in front of you. And because person has been really strong, and then again not, and then like this, and then this beautiful being just, I realized something, because she said that she's talking really fast because she's nervous, and I was like, how can how's that possible? How can she be nervous if she's empty? And I just realized that this I'm nervous, and this boom 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 boom, it's not me. It's weird.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know.
And this is why, actually, sometimes you hear people say, when we talk like that, you say, nervous but not nervous. You can say like this, isn't it? Nervous but not nervous. Tired but not tired. Laughing but not laughing. Eating but not eating. What is speaking like that? Something sees laughter is happening, feels nervousness or something, but also feels immediately behind this there's no nervousness. What is cannot be nervous, and yet there's a kind of nervous energy. So you say nervous, but not nervous also.
Yeah.
You see, different layers of expression is there, and something sees. There's a seeing of them, but don't. You can use any concept, but don't lock them. Leave some space in them, and don't hold on to anything. In fact, don't make tattoos out of any teaching. Just make use of them, what they're pointing to, and sense it. Don't try and catch it, just sense it, because it's only showing you what is here already. It's not an object that you can get and keep. Any object you get, you can lose. But what you discover, which is just here, you cannot lose.
And now it's much easier to see the person and the thoughts and all the activity. Now I'm here sitting.
Yes, yes.
And because I think one of the reasons is like the person would have been too afraid to come here
Yes.
to talk to you,
Yes.
and I'm here.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't
what is
know.
it? What is it that's here?
I don't
Don't go to words immediately. I'm not holding to words. Just allow my question to be asked, you know. So who are you? You see, you can see the person and nervousness and all of this, but you know I'm not that. So what is you then? I said, I don't want just the answer. I don't want answer like a verbal answer. Just allow the question to just have some space in you. Who are you then? Who can see nervousness, person, all this, but knows I cannot be that. These are only sensations now. They are not anything. They're not really tangible. My mind was creating kind of some sense of being something tangible, but now it is seen that it's just feeling, it's just thought actually. What is perceiving this? Does it have any particular shape, or is it female or male, or well, what is it? You know you are in the best position to be clear as to when you say I, what is it referring to? What have you found? What are you finding?
um, from this point, it feels like a cave.
Cave you can
inside.
see.
Yes.
Cave you can see. If you go inside the cave and somebody's in this cave, that's who you see. Who are you who looks? Can this one be seen?
Yeah. Now there's too much activity. You know.
Doesn't matter. It can be 10 times the amount of activity. If you stay as yourself, no trouble. No trouble. I gave one example one time, and I think it's a good time to share. You know, somebody goes out learning to drive a car and is with the instructor sitting there. And the instructor is driving. Now, after 2 weeks of driving, the instructor said, today we're going on the highway. He said, oh, no, I don't think I'm ready. The instructor says, yes, we'll go on the highway today. Oh, but I don't think you go on the highway today. Okay. On the highway, driving along, okay, look in the mirror, see traffic, okay, look, signal, things going fine. Then it starts to rain a little bit. Rain come. The instructor says, put the windscreen wiper on. Oh, okay. And then you start, say, sorry, could you turn it? I've not done this before. Can you turn off the windscreen wiper? No. Just focus on the road. No, but no. Could you slow it down? Could you slow it down, please? No. Just focus on the road only. And then other people, what you doing? You know, every time the windscreen wiper, your car is going, whoa, like this. He said, no, just focus on the road. Don't be intimidated by the drivers. They're going, hey, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Then more rain is coming. Put up the speed, windscreen wiper. Like this. The car is going. I said, no. Focus on the road. No, but I'm going to crash. No, focus on the road. All the excuses are coming. And then at some point, focus happens. Focus happens. And now it doesn't matter how fast or slow. it's going. It makes no difference to the driving, because you're not focusing on the windscreen wiper. It says focus only on the road. You say, turn it off, please, it's too distracting. No, it's not distracting. You are feeling distracted. And now, windscreen wiper thoughts are coming. You say, no, too much thoughts are coming, too much. I say, no. You focus on being the self. You're just the self. Then you start to think, no, but I've got to stop them. I can't focus. I said, I didn't ask you to focus on thoughts. Just remain as the self. Like this. What you can do. So you're watching the kind of panic that happens. Now I say, just stay as the self. And at some point, it is heard somewhere. And the moment it is really heard inside, distractions finished. Just this. If you say, no, I can control 2 or 3 thoughts at a time, but 5 or 6 I can't, then you create a job that you don't need. You just stay as you are. That's the simplest, the most direct, the most profound pointing. Stay as you are. Don't identify with anything. Don't call yourself anything at all. That's your secret. We keep here. You don't have to tell anybody about this, because nobody understands. Don't tell people around you, look, I am nothing. No. You carry on being, Joanna or so and so. That's okay, talk. But inside, there's nothing really here, particularly. And what joy, what peace. People say, why are you so happy? I don't know. What's happened to you? You're radiant. Nothing happened to me. Oh, you're being very mystical, Come on, what happened? Nothing. Then if somebody persists, something will speak. But not the old person, not the old identity. Let go of all the shapes. All the shapes. I intend to do this, I'm going to do that. I have to become like this. I'm going back to my family. They're going to expect so much of me. I say, it's not true. When you change back into yourself, your world changes with you. You think that your world exists independent of you. It doesn't. When something here is in the right place, everything, all the different components in your world will begin to relate to you from that place. If you say, but they will never understand. And you maybe go back and you find people say to you, so where have you been? What you been doing? Why you look like this? You see? It's almost like they are expressing your projection and your fear. And also, don't try to demonstrate this. Like, look, don't be sitting at the dinner table or in a restaurant. It's not good. Just eat your chips. It's okay. Everything is fine. You don't need to tell anybody anything at all. Just like that. It is not what we've been somehow conditioned to believe spirituality. We have a lot of ideas about spirituality, about doing all these things and being able to do this and clairvoyance. And these things can be there, but they're not that important. All that is important is you discover who you are. Because if you can turn things into different things, it's not a big deal if you don't know who you are, what you are. People have a lot of ideas about spirituality, and what is it? Ideas about spirituality. one who knows themselves is unpredictable. I don't mean that suddenly they're going to shout and wave all strength. It's not that. I mean unpredictable in that way. It means that you cannot hold them down just to maybe a routine kind of thinking. Very flexible, very open, very universal, in fact. They're not holding on to any favorites, and they always see with eyes of clarity and a heart of full justice and compassion. All this, what we speak about, is naturally what is ourself. You don't have to go and cultivate it. I speak about these things in a very direct way, maybe sound a very radical way, because I'm introducing you to emptiness, and the mind does not like emptiness. It's very afraid of emptiness. Because in emptiness, it cannot rule, it cannot dominate. When you want to be something, mind is very happy. We have been many somethings in our lives, but you've not been happy.
There's nothing, and then mind is like, going like water crab,
That is
and then
okay.
it's like, so it's okay to.
You have to get used to your own emptiness. Don't feel that by being empty, the world stops in some way. In a way, for some, it stops in the most beautiful way. I can't explain this right now. It stops being so important. Because what is important is that your soul, your spirit, is total existence. You're the perceiver of all this play. When you believe only in the play, it's called dream. When you know who you are, it's called being awake. It's very different. You see? You have to get acclimatized, reacquainted, refamiliarize yourself with the state of just being empty. Not somebody trying to be empty. No, just the silence of being. And then you see that somehow the life unfolds in perfect harmony. Life takes care of life. It's not you who take care of life. It takes care of you. The most simple and natural thing. And don't even try to understand the life. Nobody can understand it. The greatest understanding of life is to be in synchronicity, in harmony with it. Don't try and study it. The mind is totally inadequate to comprehend the magnificence of the Supreme.
Can I share some? I make it short.
Okay.
In Rishikesh, year and a half ago, this all came really, clear and spontaneously. And I wasn't looking for anything, so I think that was, much easier, kind of. And then after one of the satsangs, I was walking with some friends when suddenly there wasn't anything to say I, but it was like something was looking through these eyes at itself, and everything was, people, cars, cows, cow shit, and buildings, everything, air was itself. I it could see the forms, but it wasn't like there were anything. And it lasted maybe half an hour, and then suddenly I was in a restaurant and I had to pick up what I want to eat. And then I realized that, okay, now
And then what happened?
when I had to pick out what I want to eat,
Ah.
then I realized that, okay, now I'm here again, myself. But that was the what,
Yes. In the no mind state, functioning of life continues very, very smoothly. But even if, I don't know, the word smooth is, I suppose, subjective, I feel it is just an harmony. Even to the extent that seeming disharmony becomes part of total harmony. It's not that you need to be in a bed of roses or something. It is just whatever it is. But something here is untouched, unaffected by it. Now, it can be easily mistaken that it's like you don't care. But it's not you don't care, you don't mind. And it's a very different feeling. Love is there, emotions can come, all this is playing, it's fine. But you're not drowning in it. You're not overwhelmed. You're not going to have a nervous breakdown. Something might. But you're for the first time coming into sanity, not insanity.
Yeah, because it didn't feel anything. It just was, and that was the only.
Why is it not here now?
Yeah, I know.
Why is it not? I'm not forcing words, but where did it go? Where does space go? Where does silence go? Where is peace before you discover it? Where is it hanging out? Where is your pure self before you discover? Where is it? You didn't create. Where is it? It's always here. Unrecognized somehow by the mind. In its relationship with the consciousness who's adopted the body mind as its root or something. The self-portrait of consciousness as a person seems to eclipse that intuitive wisdom. Good.
Good, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please come, and then after you can come.
Hello, Mooji.
Hi.
Over the last months, I had my own dark night of the soul. It was very dark, up to a point that I didn't want to live anymore. This body, I wanted to get rid of. And then I realized that I didn't want to get rid of what I am, of course, because how can I? But I wanted to get rid of what I'm not. But it felt like if I'm dead, then that's gone, all the pain and all the sorrow. And then a shift happened, like more or less, I think, when you read my letter in one of those tea satsangs you do. And I'm so grateful for that, because I don't know, but you started reading the letter and it was like the whole room was, my whole bedroom was in bright light and I was like shining. And ever since then, I can't go back to really thinking or worrying so much. So I feel like I'm in this transit room that Papaji talks about. Like, I can't go back. My flight's gone, but the next flight's not there yet. So, and I see this all, and I also realize that it's all about attention, actually. And the last card that my mind is playing is the one that's actually attracted to being seen by a man. I mean, this is about relationships. And I feel like if I can ignore, no, it's not about ignoring, it's just, maybe I just want to ask you, every time I see that, every time I feel this pain that I was addicted to, because I was addicted to this suffering, this pain, I wanted to feel that, but I'm done with it.
Yes.
I'm so done with it.
Yes.
So it doesn't last anymore. Sometimes I try to suffer. I try to, like, and then it doesn't work anymore. But then I feel a little bit flat. Like I used to have like high and lows very much. And now I'm just like, I can't go back to the highs and lows, but and
You are in a very good state, very holy state, but your mind is still interpreting it. You see, because it wants the adventure, even the ups and downs, and it's sometimes a bit addicted to these contrasting states. And when you're really high and passionate, you say, "Ah." When you're down, you feel like and this kind of thing. Now something is evened out. This is actually a very beautiful thing that's happening, but it's the mind is still saying, where's your life now? Where's the fun? Where's the party? And something is believing it, like, maybe this is not it. So Papaji comes to mind. You missed the flight, you missed your bus, and the next bus is not here yet. But that's only if you're going somewhere. If you want to go somewhere, then sorry, is this working?
it's empty.
No, it's not empty. Something is there. But it's a funny one, this one. Yeah, so this idea of waiting for the next bus is going to trouble you. The next flight, the next bus, the next whatever, ship. In fact, next is going to trouble you. You don't need next. You don't need next. Everybody is attached to next. That's why nobody is peaceful. While you're having breakfast, you're asking what's for lunch. When you're having lunch, what's for dinner? There's always something next. The mind is always on to what's the next flavor. But this is not you.
So if because every time I see it, everything stops. And there's no problem.
Yeah.
Do I just have to do that all the time, sometimes 100 times a day? Not that I'm doing it, but every time something stops, because I don't feel like I have any choice here. It's already happened and it's happening.
You being what? You're speaking and you say, I don't feel like I have any choice in this matter. I don't feel I have any choice here. I say, okay, identify yourself. You are what? Who is speaking? Who don't have any choice? Is it the self? Are you speaking as the pure self, or as the body, or as the mind, or as the mind and being conditioning? What is it? It's important to identify.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's clear that it cannot be the pure self. The pure self is like God saying, "Look, I don't know what to do today. I'm just fresh out of ideas." And Gabriel, you have any idea? I don't think it's going to be God. I don't think your body needs ideas. It doesn't think like that, so it's not the body. Is it the mind? Well, the mind needs a relationship without which it cannot function. And the relationship is with the idea you have of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's who the mind is negotiating with.
I'm feeling affection towards.
Yes,
that.
this is where
and it
feeling.
feels sadness to have to leave that. But I don't. I know that when there's no problem, when there's like only clear seeing, then I don't care about all this. I mean, I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about who I was or who I thought I was, or
Yes. But what is missing? What is causing the?
I think what's causing it is that there's an idea of that it's going to be very lonely.
Ah, that's the next. Why is if you continue like that, you're gonna be an old lady in your rocking chair without any teeth, and nobody to rub your foot for you or something, whatever it is. No, we have it where people, if whatever it is that is your little weakness or something, it will work through that a little bit. And it's not that this mind is bad. It is good actually, because it's trying to show you where you're still sheltering weaknesses, and to use it and to go beyond it.
I know I burn it like mostly
Yeah.
nighttime when I wake up and the mind is half asleep. I can
Yeah.
burn this. I mean, there's a fire like.
Yeah. And this being alone, you're going to be alone and so on. It's only because you're thinking personally. Yeah. In fact, you are alone as everything.
And actually, I don't even mind to be alone because when I'm around people, I'm the person all the time, and it hurts.
But you don't. It's not the people. It's a man, isn't it? That's what you don't want to be alone without that. I mean, without people.
Yeah, you're right.
you
No,
see
no.
like that, yeah.
But at this moment, so you think, because you said one time in the satsangs in Rishikesh that I followed from home, you said sometimes it's very good to be like either away from the relationship you had or even just completely alone for. I mean, I feel like I have to.
I don't feel you have
establish-
to make any choice about it. I feel just let life be, and just feeling grateful for this. Trust the space that you're in, because at the moment you listen to the mind, and it's spoiling a beautiful state, because it's saying, but if I stay like that, nothing will change. This is the mind. You see. If you stay like this, nothing will change. And there's dial a date and all of this stuff waiting over there. You could be doing something. You got to do something to make things move. And
I don't want that actually. I mean, I
Yes.
feel a lot of rejection against that now at this moment.
then simply you don't just follow the mind. The mind will say this thing, and just keep saying thank you, thank you,
That is the best thing you
Thank
you,
you.
you
Yes.
gave us.
Yes.
I've been doing that ever since
Yes.
you told it a few weeks ago. Every
Yeah.
day I say thank you, thank
Yes.
you. And
Yes.
it feels like the ego is melting
Yeah.
smaller when I do that.
Yes, yeah. Just say thank you, even if sometimes they thank you for what. Oh, but you have so many things that you can just thank you to existence for the taste of experiencing, and for the power to discern, and for good health, and for bringing my life to this place where I'm on the very verge of freedom. And this is the best time of my life. This is my golden years. This is my golden moment. Because I could have just been still locked into some prison house of just being a limited little person. And here I am contemplating the things of God and of the higher self. There's a lot there inside the heart. So even something like this, and don't be pulled into this kind of, the thing that will make you start to feel alienated and even self-pity or nothing like this. You see, because it actually is a blessed state, but it's not. You're not enjoying the fullness of it yet, because it's a bit blurred or marred by the mind is somehow that part which you have been nurturing and creating maybe some sort of fantasy around is kind of coming back and saying, yeah, but what about this though? And you're not having your dream fulfilled, and maybe you become very holy, but you're going to be lonely, holy. And does it stop? Does it stop? No, it doesn't stop. You stop.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Very good. So good. You've come all this way internally. I don't know what you've done externally, but internally you've come all this way, and finish it off. Don't let anything break your resolve and this beautiful light that's opening up in you. Hmm? Very good. Very good. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Mr. Mooji.
Namaste.
Um, I'm so nervous. Didn't think you were gonna call me. The reason I raised my hand is because I wanted to share with you my retreat experience.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I actually wrote you a letter. The experience didn't leave me with the...
Bring the microphone closer.
Should I bring it closer? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
this is good.
It didn't leave me with the peace, the love, the joy that was evident in the room.
Yeah.
Since then, my body has been in turmoil. My mind has been in turmoil. And throughout the retreat, it was very difficult for me to stop, to get into that space of presence.
Yeah.
And I've come so far, I came so far to get here. And I was supposed to go back on Saturday. And there was this thing inside of me that this inner, like this thing that I should stay, like maybe I should come for satsang just so I can live with some peace inside, because it almost feels like as if I missed something. I missed something, and there's a lot of disharmony, as you put it, within me. And
Okay. What has taken place? Because the different people come, I want to tell you, different people come and they have, okay, you have been there, so you see sometimes people seem like having breakthrough experiences and whatever. But what has been happening for many people, they come, they expect, oh, I'd like to have this experience, I'd love to feel the peace and so on. But instead, they feel turmoil. Now, I want to tell you about this turmoil. This turmoil is good. This turmoil is good. Because this turmoil, you have not noticed it before. It's been somewhere inside. I don't know what it's been doing there. Something has been there. Maybe it's not been loud because no light was being put on it. So it is just quietly drinking your energy on some level. But because of satsang, it starts to come up like that. And something wants to burp it out. It wants to throw it out like that. You see? And the mind says, look at all these people. They're exploding into joy and peace and stuff. What about me? But this is what is happening, and happened for many people. This feeling of discomfort and, oh my God, it's just, and all of this, because something is throwing it out. You are detoxing internally. Something has caught something, and don't let your mind put the wrong reading on it. The mind is saying, look, you see, it's failed, you come all this way, it didn't happen for you, and all of this type of stuff. And don't register these interpretations and these readings because they are not true. Don't register them because they're not true. Each one will somehow belch out, burp up, vomit out what they have to do. Some people come, hello, first time to satsang, hi Mooji, how are you? Yes, I've been having like this. And say, yes, but you are not this thing. Oh my God, what's that? What's that? Is that freedom? It certainly is on the way to something, but I want some of that, but I'm not having that. What are you having? Whatever. But it is perfectly fine because that's something that has to move for you. And you cannot judge the maturity of yourself spiritually by these things. Sometimes some of the most well-known sages and awakened beings have gone through just what you're going through and worse, things like this. Don't think that this is some kind of measure that, oh, you fail on something. You are succeeding inside yourself, but sometimes these things have to move. You're holding some things, we don't know where they come from. You don't know what you have imbibed in this life. Some things, you think you know yourself, you don't. You don't know what you've been drinking. Just, we don't know. We don't know which region of your life it comes from even. Things come up and then, when it comes time, you say, oh yes, what's the problem? I have no problem. I'm actually okay, And then we start to look, and then what's that? Some old spare tire from some car or something. Somebody's socks. I don't know what comes up like that, and you think, oh my God, I don't remember ever wearing those socks, basically. And they come up, and I say, you are not here to start to explain things. Just be with this, and don't identify with anything. Don't measure yourself, compare, because you cannot compare. You cannot compare with anything that you see. You don't know what you see. Maybe someone has a big and then after a few days, it's gone. Maybe someone is struggling, but then it's much more deep. We cannot like this. So something has been caught, and some discomfort is there. So don't think you know what you came for. Yeah, I come for realization. Of course you come for realization. But don't think you know how it should be. Something gets burped out, something gets seen, some discomfort, and something is holding on. Doesn't want to say, look, I'm not leaving. I say, but I want you to leave. No, I'm not going anywhere. I've been living in this house for quite some time, just like you. Right? I am your flatmate. I don't want to live with you. Get out. No, I'm hanging in. How is it going to come out? Just you stay put and continue to understand, see your true place. That you don't have to identify with anything or try to measure yourself or measure any progress. Just keep like this. And even now you can do it.
I think what you said about this happening to the most spiritual of people, sages and whatnot, that's been the main issue for me in my mind, in the sense that I've been on this walk, on the spiritual walk for 5 years in my life, and I've had experiences and certain things that I came in with a certain assurance. And that assurance basically was has been dismantled into pieces. Like whatever I held through, it almost seems like as if it just...
Okay, suppose it was belief. Suppose it was something, whatever you've been holding on to, and that somehow collapses in front of you. But you watch the collapse of that. You have not collapsed. Unless you believe, oh my God, I'm collapsing, which is a thought about it. So let's start right here. Let's say like this then, that all my ideas about, what I should cherish or what I should believe, all of that is gone. Let it go. Don't hold on to any shape. Don't hold on to any shape now. Just let it go. And actually do now, right here. Even if you let go of this idea, I don't want to go back without being enlightened. So just drop this idea. Drop every intention for a moment. Let me see you somehow just without any of your desires, without any of your self-assessment or your old experience or who you think you are or who you want to be. Just leave everything, and please do it. And who else ever want to join? As many as can come, the same thing, it works. And when you've done this, which shouldn't take you It shouldn't take you any time. Just leave it. Just leave whatever your mind wants to pick up. Just drop it. It has nothing to do with this, and stay completely empty of this for me. Then, when you're empty of these distractions or ideas, speak something from here and tell me what is missing. Don't make anything up. Don't make anything up. But just be very clear in yourself. Don't make anything up. Don't make up any stories. Don't say anything that you've read. Just look. Free from identity, free from, self-judgments or from self-assessments and desires and attachments and past and future. And if you feel the feeling I, don't put any notions in it. It's just a sense, that's all. Don't even cling, even to this, don't even cling to this. And take courage now, and please report where you are now.
There's a sense of peace inside. There's a sense of peace when I'm there.
When you're there?
No, when I looked inside.
Yes. Don't touch anything. Empty your pockets. Don't touch. Empty your hands. Don't touch anything at all. Leave everything aside for a moment. Only few can listen to these things. Leave everything aside. You've done it before in different times in your life. We've all done it. You've had to leave everything alone, even for a short time. You have to be just empty. Okay? So you be in this. Just let it go. And don't pick anything back up. Don't pick anything back up. And tell me if you're unhappy, if you're confused, if you're missing anything.
No.
No. What you are now in this state is what the sage's state is. Just that. Just that. Your mind is going to do everything to attack this. And tell you, well, there's nothing happening. What you're doing here is no fun. You're going to do, but I think you can cope with that. It is just this. Is where I am. If you want to find me, don't go look for my car. Don't go to my house. Find me in this place. Because this is where I live as and from and where I speak from. I don't have anything saved up in my head to tell you. It flows, everything flows from here. I have no strategies in my life of how to live and what's my next move. I don't need any of it. Any of it sounds for me just like a clutter, like noise. I have to think about what I'm going to do, who I'm going to see. I don't want any of it at all. I don't need it because everything is here. Everything unfolds just somehow by itself. It comes. This is life. The rest I don't know. Goes by the name of life. But I have not seen. Because in true life, you are not unhappy. You're not under pressure. You don't have to decide. You're not under this, oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. Something is here that is not trapped inside the bubble of any of these things that you imagine. It's this. It's this. That's all. And in this, without trying to somehow put any conclusion mentally about it, just stay empty and watch how your life unfold. That's all. Don't say anything about it. Just watch from your eyes and you see that your eyes are silent, your ears are silent, your senses are silent, you are silence itself. Don't say, oh, I'm not supposed to speak. No, you can speak as much as you want, but it will be a silence about it. Anything else is a kind of made up or some kind of pretense or something super special. Forget about all of this. Just be. This is being. If there was something more to tell you about it, I'll tell you. But you are that right now. If you give it away, it can only be because you turn to your mind, start to listen to that, and then you get pulled again into some kind of dissatisfaction. You start to function like a person again. You are not a person. A person is just a costume that you as beingness experience through the sense of being a person. But it is a limitation. And now you're not limited. That's what you missed your flight for.
No, I met a new friend today as well, so it's fine.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Wonderful, wonderful. Who is coming here? Someone here. When do you come? When whoever is coming, you come. Yeah.
I I want to express my infinite gratitude. I feel so much gratitude in my heart.
That's very
I
good.
just wanted to say thank you.
I was going to say, when I see this face and this, I say, what have you found? You found something. I want to hear what you were going to say. And I'm not surprised somehow.
I I started to write a question in the middle of the retreat here, and somehow it's just, yeah, it's like there's the question, but at the same time there's not the question. So yeah. wanted to say thank you, and I don't know if I should ask the question. There's something in me that still says I should ask it.
You can also be in the place where you watch this question and see if the asking of this question can take you to some place greater than where you're looking from. Again, you can look at the question and see if the question is answered, will this answer bring you to some place greater than where you presently are and where you're looking from? Because there are two types of questions for me. One is what I'd call a knowledge question, which somebody wants to know about something. How do you do this, and what happens when this happens? And there's a freedom question, which is like, I need to be free today. And I prefer freedom question. And you look like you are free. If you are not free, I will accept your question.
My mind is playing a lot with these things.
And then you please yourself. Or your mind, if you can.
Okay, I try.
Okay.
There was a moment when I was just looking inside, and I was just seeing I was feeling the presence, but I was seeing it for a moment. And that's when it made like a click, and I remembered this of what you said about also the I am can be seen.
Yes.
And then the second after, I think my mind was already saying, oh no, but you cannot see this, and this should not be it. But for a moment, I felt I could see everything. I could see how the thoughts and this idea of who I am and Inez and la la la. And I could also feel the presence, but I could see I cannot be also the presence because I can see it.
Yes.
I can see her.
Yeah.
So I thought if I can see both, then who am I? Yeah. and it was in this point, and somehow I felt that later I started to question a lot what was happening and thinking, okay, maybe this is just a mind game. And
No, because the same question, many people have pondered over these questions, and some abandoned the question prematurely. Because when you found that you're in a position to be observing even the I am, the presence or the weakness itself, some fear arose that, but where can I be if even presence I can see? You see? And then something like is afraid to find out. You see? But even that fear to find out is also seen. Who are you see? There's always a little fear that comes with the mind. It is said, that many people speak about Carl Jung and famous, no? And he wrote many things about Ramana Maharishi, He said he was the greatest master, great sage, and so on, so on, so. And then he himself went to Tiruvannamalai, to where Ramana Maharshi lives. In his time there, he went there. And then what happened is he's so close to the ashram. And then what happened? He returned to Germany or wherever it was and avoided to see. Why? Why? Something is afraid. Maybe if I go see the Maharshi, I can't be who I used to be anymore. Something is afraid of something. You see? So because of this, he missed a chance. He went back and then he write many things and stuff, but he missed a chance also. You may say, but he maybe didn't have anything to learn from the Maharshi. Well, who are you to say that? Something in him was avoiding, no? And we know the avoidance, something inside, like, oh, maybe something is too ultimate for me. It's too direct, it's too powerful, and maybe I will not be able to sustain myself if I find this thing out. But this is coming from the mind. You saw from a place which is beyond the mind, beyond the person, and even beyond the presence itself. You see? And it brought all this joy inside you. Why? Because you're there. Then the man said, but or whatever, well, but as what are you there? Who am I here? And then what happens? You gave it to your mind. And the mind just turned it into a salami sandwich, basically. It is just all it did. You should not have done you should say, but no, the fact is that I see this, and whatever the mind say, I will see this also. Why am I asking the mind? It would be like the sun asking the moon for some light. Why would I go to listen to my mind? But you gave it to the mind does what it wants to do. You see? But you've not lost anything, because the seeing happened. And you are still the same now. It's just a question of how much prestige, how much importance do you want to give to your mind? Because it cannot elect itself to be important. It needs your vote, your scholarship to be something. You have all the moves. You have the power. You can just say, well, but it's still seeing. I mean, even now, you know that you're experiencing the waking state and the sense of being in this body, and the thoughts and the sense of identity. All these things, they're just things on the screen of the mind, and something is not on the screen. Something here is not on the screen. And this is an amazing screen, because this is a three-dimensional screen, where even the sense of yourself is there on the screen, sitting here asking the question. Don't you know also you're watching yourself sitting here as a person, someone asking this question, saying, oh, all these things are in front of that which doesn't speak. And you cannot describe this. To describe, you have to come down into the realm of the mind and consciousness, where words have some play, they have a meaning, they have authority, they have something. But beyond them, no one has spoken. Nobody, not Christ, not Krishna, not the Buddha, cannot say anything about that. They can only be that. And they're not being that like they're being that. They have no other place to explain their existence but that. Just like you. You've come to the end of the road of contemplation and meditation. All of this was only to come to this place where there's nothing to do there. Then something might say, but I mean, like after all this work, all this meditation, all this yoga, all this chanting, all this sitting naked in a cave, and nothing to do? Yeah. I said, the one who is saying this also must be seen as that one is also nothing. When you see the one who is complaining, even after all these things, there's nothing for me to do, you have to see this one is also nothing. When you see that, your joy, your light is free. Yes, not just when you see, when you admit, you admit. Yes, it's true. You know.
Yeah, my mind still doesn't want with me, but
Your mind has something,
I'm very
but
thankful.
I'm not interested what your mind has to say. No. He's been given enough chances. He's been given a chance. It's enough for him. You can go and entertain your mind, but I won't entertain. You see?
Thank you for that.
Very good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Okay. That's right. Sure. Thank you. Okay. Good, good. We come to the end of this part now. Maybe somebody can come and play a bit of music or something, and we can take a little break. And those of you who would like to come back for this, I'll go through some of these letters that people write and so on. You're welcome to. We take a short break for 10 minutes or something, but we can have a bit of music now or something. And thank you so much.
hearts with love. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Oh Lord, protect us as one. Nourish us, Lord, as one. Let us flourish in thy strength as one. Oh Lord, as one. Let our knowledge, oh Lord, be changed to light and fill our hearts with love. Oh, let our knowledge, oh Lord, be changed to light and fill our hearts with love. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Vyam Garavavahe Tejasvi Navadita Mastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Okay. Om, Om. Thank you everybody. For me, as always, it's been so good to take another opportunity to sit and to go into this most, I regard, the most important subject in the human kingdom, actually. Because we can learn about many things in life. The subjects that somehow appeal to the human mind are just uncountable and are always changing. We're always advancing into new regions of exploring into so many things. But man must know himself. Human being must know themselves. Because until we do, then we make much trouble. And this is clear enough by itself. And it's not just to avoid trouble. Greater than that is to realize, recognize our true spiritual greatness and beauty. It's not a proud greatness, but a greatness which is peace, unconditioned love, and goodwill to all of life. We hear so many problems around the world between different peoples, different religions, different ideologies, greed, and so many things that seem to be a kind of poison in our realm of being. And solutions seem to be sought in so many different ways, unrelentingly. People are gathering to find solutions. But what I see is, in every case, the problem is ego. In every case, the problem is ego, because we are not aware of who we are. Believing ourselves to be merely our body, which is innocent, by the way, and our conditioning, the conditioning of consciousness, to believe that I am this, you are that. And there is no you in my consciousness before I. I must be the firstborn of concepts. Only after I arises can the sense of you be perceived, and other be perceived, and world, and so on. So, it must be the most important thing to know and to understand is what I is. Because in everybody, the same I arises and says, I am. I am is our name. I am is our name. But when you are given, I am John, I am Susan, that is something secondary. This is concept. This is sentiment. This is something else. This is calling the body something. This is calling yourself the body. But you must find out what I am is. Because nobody taught you to be I am. No parent gave their child, christened the child, your name will be I am. Spontaneously, it arises in each form. The intuition, the reference, I am, I exist. We must find out the sense I am means to be, means what exists. There's I am. Who is the I that am? We must find out. Does it have a shape or a color? Is it a gender? Does it have any distinguishing features? Satsang helps us to find this. And in finding it, you are supremely happy. Supremely happy. Blessed is the one whose life is the evidence of the true. Not whose belief, not whose philosophy or private mythology is the evidence of truth, but whose life is the evidence of truth, whose presence is the evidence of the truth, whose presence carries somehow the miracle and the beauty and the light of God. So I don't feel we are meeting for something less than that self-discovery, the invitation to discover what really lives here, because this body we know is a time body, or you may say it's a mortal body. It means that it belongs to time, it has a beginning and an end. But the immortal one is inside. And life is only an opportunity to discover its true nature, and not what it conceives itself to be by identifying itself merely as a person. These 2 hours or so that we've spent here today was only for this looking. So now we'll take a break, and those of you who would like to come back, I have to read some of these letters, and that's always also a very beautiful part of Satsang. We'll take an hour or so to look through them, and then, well, and then, whatever that is. So thank you, and okay, good.